Hello, it's Dr. Stephanie, and I just wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about rest and the rituals of rest. Now, I am not an athlete, at least not right now. In my younger days, I definitely played some sports, tennis, and gymnastics, but I am a physician, and so I do know that rest is very important in physical activity. Now, my husband is an athlete at this point. He works out almost every day. And when he was first working out, he worked out 7 days a week. And I tried to explain to him that he needed some rest days in order for his muscles to really develop in the way that he wanted them to develop. And as I'm sure some of you know, people don't always take your suggestions the first time in. But what I wanted to, when he finally did listen to me, he noticed a huge difference in terms of reaching his goals. He was working out 7 days a week and he was doing well in terms of losing weight and he was getting some definition. But once he instituted those rest days, the definition was off the charts because our muscles need time to repair themselves in order to build themselves back up. And just like our bodies need time to repair and recover in order to build ourselves back up and reach our goals, we need the exact same thing. We need rest days. Sometimes it's a rest day, sometimes it's rest hours, sometimes it's multiple episodes of rest throughout the day. Whatever it is, we need rest. And unfortunately, we live in a culture that demonizes rest as being lazy and that makes the hustle, the bustle, the busy seem like that is the ideal. And if you're not busy and you're not hustling and you're not bustling, that you're going to miss out, that the early bird catches the worm. But you can't be the early bird and the late night stalker, right? You have to be one or the other, because eventually, if you don't get enough rest, you will not be able to meet your goals. Just like my husband, when he was working out every single day, he wasn't really getting the type of build that he was looking for. So you need those active recovery days where you're not weightlifting and you might just be doing some light cardio to get the blood circulating so that it can kind of help you. And you need those passive rest days where you're doing absolutely nothing. And that's the same for us. We need active rest and we need passive rest. And we cannot get pulled into this trap of thinking that we have to be constantly going. Most of us who are professionals, who are contributing to our communities, who are taking care of families, who are doing the thing, who have the quote unquote Black girl magic, are exhausted. And we need to build in more rest into our lives so that we actually can achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves. So you may be getting closer to your goal, you may be achieving what you want to achieve, but what you can achieve will be more and will be tenfold if you actually institute some rituals of rest. You will get the definition, you will get the fine tuning, you will get that next level result if you pay attention to that. So what do I mean by rituals of rest? I mean holding rest as sacred, having it be something that is consistent, predictable, and not just what you get to do once you are finished all of your work. Because truth be told, the work is never finished. There's always more work to do. And I think that many of us who think that what we're doing is so important and that we have to just keep going and get it done, we realize that if we're no longer there, that work will still be there and somebody else will do it. And that's the case for pretty much everything that we do. We are replaceable when it comes to the work that we do, but we're not replaceable when it comes to who we are and how we show up in the world and how our being is able to exist and influence people. That part is not replaceable. So having rituals of rest actually helps us to preserve that part of who we are, which is irreplaceable. So I'm going to talk about how you can create some rituals. I've created a worksheet to help you go through the process of how to create a ritual of rest, which is different from a routine. A routine is something that we do over and over on a regular basis. It's, sometimes it's a habit that turns into a routine. Routines are great, but since rest is so important in terms of us reaching our goals and reaching our goals in a way that is the best that we can possibly do, it needs to be even more than a routine. It needs to be a ritual, something that we hold sacred, something that we don't allow anybody to disturb or to move, something that has meaning and intention behind it. So I encourage all of us to take the leap and start to develop rituals of rest.